Hello guys, welcome to the channel of Day Zero Gaming. This is State of the Game for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Episode 4. I am joined here by some of my friends, and let's jump right into this. So today's topic is going to be what we think should go on with the ending to the game, as well as the new update that's coming out and what our thoughts are on that. So I'll go ahead and start off. I honestly think that the cosmetics are the best part of this update. I don't think that the AI teammates, I mean, as cool as they are, I'd rather just squad up with actual people anyways. I know I might be in the minority here, but honestly, I feel like they scrapped 2 years worth of gameplay just to rewrite the coding for the game to add the AI teammates in the first place. So then why would you, after releasing them, I mean, yeah, I get fixing them and putting patches on them. That makes sense. But when it comes to like adding like all these other features to the AI teammates, I mean, when they could be adding more story content and opening up Moa Island, I just don't feel like that's the right move. I feel like solo players in this game don't happen that often, and those that are, I mean, just are doing that because they don't have PlayStation Plus. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, or whatever, Microsoft Plus or whatever the heck you call the other services, but I feel like anyone that can play with players are matchmaking, and they are going in and trying to find groups. Um, the cosmetics are cool, but they're more like wants instead of needs, as Gemini here brought up. Um, we should be looking more towards a story development rather than just pushing for random, useless stuff that doesn't really impact the gameplay that much. So, uh, I'll go ahead and kick it off to you guys. What you guys think, and we'll just kind of go fluidly from there.
I mean, the cosmetics are sweet and everything. I mean, I love the looks about everything and whatnot and what they have coming. And as far as the teammates go, okay, so my initial gripe when the game first launched was where the teammates, because they kind of did like a bait and switch, with the gameplay at E3, saying that, hey, look, there's going to be teammates. And then the game comes and it's just us, we're by ourselves. And, that was something that a lot of people grabbed about, me included. And I like that they're, enhancing on the gameplay and with the AI teammates as a whole. But I mean, I like having control. So making them completely autonomous, although it's cool because it gives you less to do, that also could get you in trouble because you could be trying to go stealth and then you have one teammate way out in the distance where the enemies can see them. It's happened before. It's happened on Wildlands. It's happened. Holy crap! Like, I'm not even going to get into
it. They do it all the
Yeah,
time.
right. But I mean, if they fix that, then more power to them. God bless them for that. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, they're doing these updates, and I also love the fact that they're bringing Karen Bowman back because I loved her. She was great, But the fact that they created a whole nother island and they're not even using it, or rather, they said that there's not going to be anything pertaining to an update involving Moa Island this year. It just didn't sit well with me. It left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way about it.
Well,
And it's like,
yeah, exactly, man. It's like, why did they not do anything? They rewrote the entire game to add AI teammates into the code instead of doing Moa Island and the second raid. And then they also did the immersive experience. And most of the immersive settings were already available you know, in your settings. A lot of the things people were wanting was already there. They just had to go through their settings and change them. And the only difference is they took off the gear score in immersive. That's one of the only big key differences. Because you could already change the difficulty. You could already change all of this. So it was just an interface improvement for those wanting to play that way.
But there's also no perks in immersive.
Yeah, and you can
So
just unequip all your perks. I mean, that's also a thing.
right, yeah,
okay. But like but when you do like immersive, like as I said, there is no perks whatsoever. So the only way that you stay alive a bit longer is through your skill.
I mean, and
But
definitely that
the
is a
weapons
thing.
the weapons don't handle the same like they do in like in Gear Score.
Right, and that could
Because
have
they've got all the
definitely
perks in
still
it.
been done. I mean, I'm just saying, like, they didn't have to take as much time with it as they did, I guess. They could have just, like, kind of just slapsticked it on there, and it would have been probably just as good as it is now. Like, they didn't, like, it doesn't seem like it should have took months and months and months and months to do an immersive update as compared to how long it ended up taking them. If that,
The code written when they did Wildlands. I mean, I understand you don't want to do a copy and paste type of thing, but if you have a formula that works, why change it? Why fix something that it wasn't broke? You know?
yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
because
agree with that.
Now, I
Wildlands
think
was that was great. That was great fun how that worked. Things worked in Wildlands.
right, and it seems like I think they only added the gear score because of the type of success they were getting with Division, which was kind of, I guess, par
But they're
at
two different
best.
games. They're two complete different games. The two don't go together.
But then when
Yeah,
it
of
comes to
course.
the raid, like if they had like immersive as the only game style and there was no gear score, the raid could still exist. Like the raid is just skill based. It's not even like you could take gear score completely out of the equation and the raid could still be the raid. Like honestly, they didn't
Well,
need to
Right.
add
or,
what they
or
added.
some people have, or there has been sort of like requests for that, and that's and to be quite honest, like I thought when they were going to have like the year two sort of thing, that was one of the things that was going to come in because a lot of people have said they don't want to play gear, they don't like gear score, and they play immersive mode. But because that's what I normally play. I normally play on immersive. You only have to go into gear score just so you can do a raid. And a lot of people are against that idea and don't agree with it. And I think that's and I quite agree. If you're playing in immersive mode, then why wouldn't go into why go to gear score just so you can go and do a raid? Why
You
not
know
do
what,
it so the
guys?
raid? Why not do it so the raid could be also in immersive mode?
Go ahead, Gemini.
Check this out. Check this out. The added difficulties to the raid, regular, critical, and all that, made the gear score completely obsolete.
That's what I'm saying as
It's
well.
obsolete. It's like you added the different difficulties to get different perks for winning. Okay, gear score means nothing now. I'd rather go immersive. That way I can set my parameters and find the best way to win. No, instead now I got to get the best gear. I got to get the best weapons, the highest gear score to be able to keep up. And for what? Because it doesn't matter what you do, it's always going to come down to the gear score, and it's obsolete now, especially with
Yeah,
the extra added difficulties.
right.
Yep.
And also and like the other thing is that if you still want to play gear score, for example, argument's sake, you've done all the raids, so you've done like your critical, and you got to 300. When you come out of the raid and you play the game normally in the gear score and you go and pick stuff up, you're picking stuff up at 250, which is below like what your level is. And that's
Right.
complete, and that is absolutely pointless.
Yeah, because it's not like everything you got from the raid is what you keep from then on.
Yeah. So you start playing the game and you're picking stuff up that's a lot less. You're picking up like a blue
I'm
250
gonna switch the
pistol
topic a little
or
bit.
whatever. Yeah,
I'm gonna pull the
but then like
topic.
the story, but we're going to go to like the
Yep,
story or where we think it's going because it's lost the plot at the moment, big
exactly.
time.
Yeah, so the story,
It
as
has
everybody sees,
absolutely lost it.
we were sent to Roa to pretty much just get the drones down so that the cavalry could come in, right? We were the special operations unit. That was our mission. Why are we running
That was
around
the mission.
helping civilians? Why are we running around worrying about what Wonderland is? Why are we breaking all sorts of military codes and rules just to for what? Why are we breaking operational procedures? Why did we go to Gollum Island? Like, you know what I mean? Why did we fight the Terminator? You know, it doesn't you know, like
Yeah.
why
And
is
why are we
Lara Croft's
fighting
gear
Bodark with
important
the
to
bloody gas
us?
things?
Exactly. When Bodark came to this island, why did that happen? The drones. Why is Sam Fisher allowed to leave? Why didn't we take the drones down yet? I feel like the main point of episode 1 of this story, when you kill Walker and you spoilers, but I mean I feel like at this point at
Yeah.
this point it doesn't matter. When you kill Walker or Trey Stone, you could have even done it in episode 2, but I'll go and sit ahead and say in episode 1. When you hack that computer and you blow up the submarine with the drones and the drones go fully autonomous, you should have just destroyed the drones right then and there. You should have taken down the grid, and that should have been it. You know?
Yeah.
And then after that happens, the ship comes from off the coast, or it's hijacked, or something happens that leads us over to Moa, and we have to help the survivors of the shipwreck, or we have to, or if it was hijacked, we have to start taking over the island because, you know, they parked the ship off the coast and you know, whoever hijacked it is now on that island. And now that the drones are down, that island's open to us. Right now we can't go because the drones are up, but till the drones are gone, now that island's open to us.
You know what? You just brought up an interesting point, and I have a question. If the drones became autonomous after we tried to shut them down, right?
Right.
Okay. How did Bodart get onto the island?
That's what I'm saying. And why is that such a loose... And how did we get Sam Fisher off the island if they're fully autonomous?
Well, yeah, they actually explained that, but it still was a cop out.
Exactly, they're copping out on everything.
That was it Christina or what the other managed to find like a window, but as we were discussing earlier, we've done all these missions in episode 1, like for Jake Skell, for like Christina when you had to go to the Skell Campus Foundation and do like all the hacking to get like into like the back door, and all of like her other associates who were all involved with like these drones. We have still not taken control of them or stopped them. We have got no further since we first come on the island, since day 1. We are no further forward.
Right.
And everything else, okay, yes, the Bodart missions were fun. Don't get me wrong, they were fun to do. But that's got nothing to do with the original story.
And even Gollum Island. Even Gollum Island. Why are we on the raid island? They're prototype drones that we have no business going and invading that island.
No, the only thing is they got there. It's just full of test drones, isn't it?
Exactly. So they should have tied it in.
Saying earlier, to sell off, they want to try and sell them off to like the highest bidder. But at the end of the day, if you follow the original story as to why we've come here, we are no further forward since like day 1. And we're just running around doing stuff that is completely and utterly pointless.
Exactly. Like all these Milsim players are having to create their own missions because there's no missions in the game that are military operations.
And then we've gone through, we've killed Walker and all the other top sort of like commanders of like the Wolves and Sentinel and everything else like that. And yet we are still the hunted. They are still top dog. We're not top dog, and we're not the boss, and they're hiding from us. They're still hunting us.
Exactly, their entire leadership structure's been destroyed.
Yeah. So where is this story going? Yes, it's great fun to play the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Because we love playing the game. We spend hours and hours and love it.
2,000 hours in this game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not a bunch of people that's trying to...
The actual story has gone because there is no story.
Right. Honestly, the DLC for Walker and Wildlands...
The idea behind the story, yes, that is quite a good one. But we've landed on the island, crashed thing, go and find like the local rebels who've had to hide up because they've been running away from the walls, whatever. We've done all these other missions, and then that's it. and nothing has been sorted. The Azraels are still flying over. We've still got drones in all our bases and flying about out in the wilderness. We've still got like the behemoths and that sort of thing. We've got no control over the island.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Gemini?
So the original mission has gone out the window, and the plot has gone.
Here's my thing. The Walker DLC from Wildlands was far better than the entire storyline of this game.
Yep.
Hands down. I mean, it was great. It was perfect. It was edgy. It was like edge of your seat. It was a thriller. It was an action thriller, you know. And then we get here and it's just bland. You know, you get here, you're on your own. You got to figure stuff out. You know, I mean, after a while, it just gets boring. You get tired. And then you start doing a bunch of repetitive missions and all this other stuff. I mean, and then the story, like, even when it picks up, it's still, like, kind of bland. You know, it's just...
Well,
and then another thing about this, there's no life to this game. You have all this open land, and there's, like, barely any humans. It's just us or a couple of bad guys. You know, in Wildlands, you had people driving cars, you had people out farming and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. It was life into the game. You know, it was like a breath of fresh air. Here, it's just nothingness and a whole lot of it. You might see like a group of people like, you know, standing around doing absolutely nothing, and then that's it. I mean, the only time I actually saw life in this game was when they brought out the rebels and, you know, they was like patrolling and all that stuff. That felt nice. But even then, you turn that off because you can't turn anything else on while that's going, and it's like, well, damn, okay, I guess we're back to nothing again.
Yep, and I definitely feel like that was one of the better. I didn't like that like mission set, like all the missions that went with that. Like I felt like those were kind of repetitive, but I really liked the rebels just patrolling out on the roads and just bursting into random firefights. Like that part of it was really, really nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It put life into the game.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to stealth a base and they decide to drive in and attack it.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, that's definitely. But same thing with the AI teammates. They sometimes just piss me off.
Well, they get in the way. They just get in the way.
Yeah, they'll stand in the middle of an open road while you're trying to. Yeah, they'll stand in the middle of an open road while you're trying to be stealthy and hide. And next thing you know, they start off the firefight because now they've been seen. It's like, well, what the hell? I told you to come over here.
So.
You know?
Yeah, and I've been having it lately. Is it like Vasily or whatever you like to call him? Yeah, you stealth out a base. Yeah, you see like there might be two people, and you know normally you can take them out quickly, one after the other. You get one, and then he'll walk right in front of you and crouch right down in front of you, so you can't get like the other one. Then the base gets like alerted. You ask, and then you command them to go and wait here. You move forward. And then one of them would decide to go running off halfway across the base. So they don't do what you tell them. Now, if you do that on this new update, that would be good. If you could give a command to each one individually.
Now I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up.
That would be good.
Okay, so just going to each of you real quick. Just time-wise, starting to have to wrap it up. What's one thing, starting with Gemini, what's one thing that you think should be added cosmetically into Breakpoint? What's one vehicle you'd like added into Breakpoint? And what's one story mission that you would like to have added to Breakpoint?
Okay, cosmetically, I would like them to add hoods so you could wear a mask and a hood at the same time. That would be nice because they kind of had that in Wildlands, and it was a cool feature to have cosmetically. As far as vehicles go, I mean, there's really nothing more you could put into the game unless you put in, like F-17s or F-22s or something like that. And even then, that's kind of overdoing it because, the island or whatnot. And as far as the story mission goes, I would like for them to be, okay, say like if they found Erewhon, because that's where everyone was hiding out. If it was found and it was taken over by Sentinel and it's your job or even like if it's like an online live event or something like that, you and a couple of other teammates have to go in and get it back. You know, that would be something cool.
And they could call that home front or whatever they want to call it. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right. So now flopping over to Tonker here. What's one cosmetic item, one vehicle, and one story objective you'd like added to Ghost Recon Breakpoint?
God blimey, costume. Yeah, like to have like the hoods, like you said, like the masks. So do like that, so you could build a character like Thatcher, and you could completely customize it in any way that you wanted to do it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A vehicle you'd like?
Because that costume that needs a little bit of adjustment because it's not quite right. It doesn't look quite right. It looks like a boiler suit than anything else. But you know, so you could you could change it around so you could have like your hooded masks, like how it's supposed to be, instead of having a mask and no hat on or anything else like that, which just looks completely stupid. But you know, so do it so you can do a proper sort of like spec ops design.
Is there any kind of vehicle you'd like added in?
Yeah, I'd like the helicopter like you have for the what is it? That you got from like the Sam Fisher, the stealth helicopter.
Yeah.
The quiet one. That would be good if you had one like that. You could put your whole squad. That you could put your whole squad in. Or like an Apache.
Okay.
So a decent helicopter, or even something like a Chinook where you could drive your vehicle into it.
That'd be pretty
and
cool.
then go in and fly, and then fly.
And then what's one story concept you'd like brought in?
And then like the story, I would just like to have the story continue in the proper manner to the original story as to why we came here, and to find a way to turn off the swarms and do it so that our ship can come, so we can complete our mission properly as to the original plan of coming here.
And then
instead of all like the other stuff they keep adding on.
Player, you on mic? Or no?
They are not, but we do have a fourth now.
No problem, no problem. So, a cosmetic item I'd like added into this game would be better backpacks, more and gear and unit patches. I'll go ahead and mention unit patches. I know all of you probably want that, but unit patches and actual, you know, military backpacks that they'd actually take into combat. Maybe even like patch slots, so you don't have one on your helmet, one on your chest, one on your backpack. You know, maybe you could put your unit patch on one, US flag on the other, you know, leave the other one empty. That'd be pretty nice. Vehicle, either some kind of boat that actually makes the games water relevant, or military attack aircraft. Because why is Sentinel, this huge multi-million dollar, probably billion-dollar funded private militia, and it has planes out of the 70s and 80s, like crop duster, like drug planes, and then it has like, you know what I mean? Like the airports are just not militarized at all, and it would have been really strategic to go ahead and, you know, I mean they have all this existing Cold War infrastructure, and they didn't take advantage of it. They could have definitely modernized their aircraft, or we could have brought some modernized aircraft with us. I don't know, something. You know, maybe the aircraft carrier off the coast could have supplied us some military aircraft. Who knows?
Yeah, could have had an Osprey. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
What's the question?
What's up, Slayer? What cosmetic item would you like added into Breakpoint?
Ooh, I would say more holster options, like
Strong selling
put the
type, huh?
holster at.
Holster options, heck yeah. And then when it comes to a vehicle you'd like added to Ghost Recon Breakpoint?
Probably what Tonker said, age 64 gunship.
Okay, the gunship. Okay, that makes a lot of sense as well. And then what's a story point you'd like them to bring into Breakpoint? Like what's one loose end or one thing you'd like them to bring in that would make you feel great about Breakpoint?
Like, what do you mean? Like, you mean
Story
Yeah.
DLC if they were to add one.
I would say more like a open battlefield, like taking a sentinel on head on, like uh U.S. Navy or U.S. Army, whatever comes in,
Okay,
and like you're in
yeah, so our
open battle.
reinforcements come in and that's a huge open battle. That would be nice. That would be nice. Even on Moa Island, like if they were to add that in, like just an assault on the island, would
Uh,
be nice.
are you talking about the island off to the east?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if we were to rally up all our troops and just go assault it like D-Day, that would be nice.
Actually, let
That
me
would be
change that.
epic.
I would say like Division 2 Day with Resident Evil.
Okay. Yeah,
That
that
would be a
sounds good
good.
either. Alright, and then when it comes to me, a story DLC, I'd like a second raid. I'll put it
That would
that
be
way.
cool too.
It doesn't even have to be
And I,
gear score oriented. It could just be you get these rewards for doing it. The bosses have this much health no matter what, and use whatever weapons you can to take them out. Even human targets instead of, whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be like the current raid. It can be more of just a really hard mission set than a raid. I mean, I don't care. I just want more content that's challenging instead of just story content, I guess.
right.
So that's gonna be the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for, you know, chiming in. And this was State of the Game for Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Zero out.